Welcome to the Business Model Canvas designed by Alex Osterwalder. I'm Matt Terrell. We're going to look at the Business Model Canvas and the 9 interconnected blocks and how they work together for a company to provide value to complement one another, both the front stage of a company and the back stage of the company. I use the Business Model Canvas extensively for businesses that I'm involved in. I think it's an excellent tool. I'm a full believer and a subscriber in its effectiveness. I use the Business Model Canvas throughout the variety of businesses. It's really become the international language of business. It's how strategies are developed and opportunities are seized. Personally, I'm a little opportunity obsessed. I'm involved in several different businesses. Vision Creations, which is a marketing services company. Founders Films, which is an entrepreneurship education company. WellDoc, which is a mobile healthcare platform management company focused on diabetes management. I teach entrepreneurship at the University of Delaware. I facilitate Business Model Canvas workshops, and I'm involved in a couple of startups on the side. For all of the projects that I'm involved in and all the businesses I'm involved in, I always use the Business Model Canvas because personally I find it the most helpful lens into understanding a company. So let's look at a Business Model Canvas for a company called Gore, and let's look almost how they work together and almost to tell a story for the company. So why Gore? Gore is consistently one of the most innovative companies around the world, recognized from Fast Company magazine and others. So Gore has 4 divisions: industrial, medical, electronics, and fabric. Well, let's look at the Business Model Canvas for Gore Fabrics because everyone knows Gore-Tex. It's a $3 billion company, and everyone knows Gore. So let's look at the value proposition. How does Gore deliver their value to their customers? Well, Gore really, it's waterproof, breathable, durable. Those 3 components comprise the Gore membrane, and that's how Gore competes. Some of their competitors have maybe 1 of the 3 or 2 of the 3. Gore really focuses on having all 3 of those components in their laminated fabrics. So for whom do they provide value? So that takes us to the customer segment. So really, the customer segment for Gore is the apparel manufacturer. Apparel manufacturer use the Gore laminated fabrics in their garments. So we've got the customer segment, and that's who Gore sells to. But really, the end user, and on a design thinking approach, we have to be constantly kind of obsessed with the customer, the end user customer. So for Gore, the end user customer is the outdoor athlete who pursues her sports and activities outside in inclemental weather, but it's comfortable in the Gore garments. So let's talk about the channels, the distribution channels. How does Gore get connected to their customers? Well, it's the direct sales reps is how Gore connects to the apparel manufacturers. But certainly the outdoor athlete doesn't purchase Gore garments from the direct sales reps. So for that, we think about the retailers and their involvement in how Gore connects with their customers. So that's our distribution channel. So let's talk about relationships. What type of relationship does Gore have with their customers? Well, one of the best ones out there is a long-term, deep relationship. How does Gore maintain that? Well, Gore has a lifetime warranty for all of their laminated fabrics, which leads to a long-term, deep relationship with the customer. So revenue streams. Where does Gore get their stream of money? Where's it coming in? Well, it's through the sale of the laminated fabrics is how Gore generates revenue. An additional revenue generator for Gore is the seam sealing and materials machinery. So Gore sells the laminated fabrics, but also there's a fair amount of hardware that has to go out with those fabrics, and Gore sells that as well. We've looked at this left side. So this left side really is the front stage. If you're looking at a play or a production, this is the front stage and where the kind of outwardly customer gets to see. On the left-hand side is the backstage of the organization. So let's look at the backstage for Gore, which is this left. So let's go into the key activities. The key activities for Gore is the design and manufacturing of these laminated fabrics. Critical. Additionally, if you're going to have an innovative company like Gore, you need extensive R&D to constantly be innovating and looking for ways you can improve your performance. So another key activity for Gore is it's marketing B2C. Gore has what's called ingredient branding. So if you're going to buy, say, an Arc'teryx garment, they want the consumer to think about the ingredient inside that, which that requires extensive marketing on the business to consumer approach. Next, let's look at the key resources. And again, let's note the green throughout is kind of our end user customer focused approaches. So now let's look at the key resources. Where's the secret sauce for Gore? EPTFE. So polytetrafluoroethylene is the laminated fabric, and it is expanded, it's stretched repeatedly and quickly to become expanded EPTFE. So EPTFE is the secret sauce for Gore. That's the key resource. So if you're going to have a $3 billion brand, that requires extensive intellectual property to protect the integrity of that brand. Now, one piece of the key resource for Gore that most folks don't know about is their management structure. And it's called a lattice culture. And at Gore, you don't have bosses. They're all associates, and they work in a team approach. And it's a lattice management structure. And that team approach allows Gore to have an innovative approach to work together as a team to create new products and new services. So that is one of their key resources. Next, let's look at the key partners for Gore. Well, the apparel manufacturers are both the customer segment, they're also a key partner. Gore works hand in hand with the apparel manufacturers, again, on constantly striving to improve their performance and understand the construction of the garments. Now, another key partner that most folks don't know about is the military. Gore garments are used in NASA and they're used in the military, so Gore's got a very close relationship with the military, constantly asking questions of how they can improve their performance for the soldiers. Now let's get to the cost structure. So the cost structure for Gore, the main driver really is the manufacturing of that laminated fabric. That's the product that they're selling at the end of the day, and that's the manufacturing of that laminated fabric. Now, again, we talked about the associates in the company. Well, we've got the engineers within Gore are one of the key expenses. They're very focused on their staff, and again, they're called associates, not employees, and those engineers are a cost structure. And then finally, another cost structure for Gore is the marketing of the business to consumer, which again, you see in the green, comes back to that kind of end user customer approach. So as we step back and we see the interconnected blocks kind of working together and telling the story, and they're all seamed together to really tell the story of Gore Fabrics. We have the business model canvas for Gore Fabrics. I'm Matt Terrell. Thanks very much.